Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Stephen Carroll and I'm joined by Bloomberg's breaking news editor Louise Moon. Louise, good morning. Let's start then with Aegon, the Dutch insurer, confirming it's moving headquarters to the US.
Indeed, yeah, some big news from them this morning. So moving their headquarters to the US, that's where they already get most of their profit from. And as a result of that, they're going to change their name to Transamerica. So they say that they expect that to take about 2 years and will come with costs of about 350 million euros. That's over the next few years as it takes place. So it's not a total surprise. They had floated this idea. This idea had been on the table for quite a while. So in August, they said they were reviewing potentially moving their listing, so it's not a total surprise. And then at the same time, alongside this, they also said that they would lower their focus on Europe, and they're also announcing a strategic review of their UK business. So that's set to take place and complete probably in the first half of next year. Shares are dropping on this news. So there was an interesting note from Bloomberg Intelligence, kind of explaining the share drop, essentially saying that they need more than a name change to improve their performance, and that the latest targets they've also set today show that, you know, challenges still exist. The targets were underwhelming. That was also a word used by Morgan Stanley, that these targets were underwhelming. And that while the move to the US makes some sense, as I say, it's not new news. So more, they're saying, needs to be done to boost the Dutch insurer.
Okay, so Aegon shares, down 8% in the Netherlands this morning. Let's go to Switzerland next. And Cicor Technologies, the Swiss electronic solutions companies, their shares down 23%.
Indeed, yeah, they were halted at one point this morning in trading because they fell so much. Shares had been performing well this year. They've been lifted in partly by a rise in defence spending, benefiting on the back of that. But the new news this morning is that they've cut their guidance. They cited lower than expected demand in Germany in particular, and they also cut their profit outlook. So not good news, dragging down their shares this morning. They're in the middle of a takeover battle for a UK firm called TT Electronics. So they had made a bid for TT, and then one of TT Electronics shareholders is opposing the offer and considering a bid themselves. So a lot going on for Cicor Technologies, but the main thing that's really being focused on is that cut in guidance, that cut to its outlook, really pulling down shares dramatically this morning.
Okay, and in the UK, there's been an update from Berkeley Group, the home builder. What have we learned from them? Yes,
they had their first half results today. So a rise in profits that beat forecasts. So good news on that front. That's even as sales declined in the lead up to the budget. Obviously, there was a lot of uncertainty, across the board, but particularly affecting the housing market in the lead up to the budget. Berkeley, as I say, so first half profits rose. That's despite those home sales declining, also despite them citing what they're calling a very challenging environment for both regulatory reasons and macroeconomic reasons. They did also keep their full year guidance, so another positive, and analysts are saying that they're keeping it at the same level as they were. It's not an upgrade, but that continuation is a positive because of all those worries surrounding particularly the housing sector in the lead up to the budget. And then looking further ahead, quite an upbeat outlook from Berkeley, so that in terms of the longer term, they're particularly citing London as being very positive about London. They're seeing an improvement in affordability and much undersupply that will benefit them as a home builder. So shares rising on the back of that host of news this morning.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.